It's been a wild few weeks, I can tell you that much. I haven't uploaded anything in yeah, about close to a month, almost 3 weeks, and that's not something that was planned whatsoever. That was due to some unforeseen circumstances. What are these unforeseen circumstances? I would gladly share with you. A fucking psycho neighbor from hell moved in on the third floor of my apartment building. I live on the second floor, or I lived on the second floor because I've since then moved. That's how crazy it's been. So, currently, as I'm recording this, I am living with my girl, and this is her first, like, genuine apartment that she's had apartments before, but like the hood shady deals where nothing is like, you know, on the books. Everything is off the books. You know a guy that knows a guy, you give him some money, you stay at a place. She's done those before, and I think I have too, because I'm pretty sure my first apartment wasn't completely legal. Now that I look back at it, I'm like, I don't know about this place. And if it was legal, god damn, was he the definition of a slumlord? So, moving on, I lived up to a few days ago in this apartment building, and I'll start from the top. So, there's no real goal to this video besides me explaining to you the craziness of my situation, but also maybe you can derive something from this, you know? Maybe you don't. Maybe you just go, why the fuck didn't you do this and why the fuck didn't you that? I think I've probably explored every option that there is. So, I moved into this apartment building about 4 months ago. And for the first month, there was someone living. I lived on the second floor, and there was someone living on the third floor directly above me. But he was pretty quiet. You'll hear his footsteps from now every now and then, but they were like almost petite, and you'll hear the floor creak. And it's an old building, so the floors fucking creak. So you would hear him from time to time, but it was nothing like intrusive or anything of the nature. It was just regular walking. He ended up moving out maybe about a month in after I moved in. So I guess he was already on his way out. And for another solid month, there was no one living up there. It was completely empty. And I enjoyed it because I love peace and quiet. I mean, who doesn't? I'm pretty sure I'm not exclusive in that nature, but it was quiet. I didn't hear anything up there at all because no one lived there. Then he moves in. This fucking atrocious, just ghetto, loud, toxic, obnoxious dude. Like, I'm not exaggerating in the slightest when I say, like, he is everything that a nightmare neighbor is made of. All the qualities that I just named, they're all justified in there. I'm not, what's the word? I'm not being hyperbole. I'm not using hyperbole. That's how you say it. Well, I'm not exaggerating and I'm not being dramatic. I really mean that. This dude he's super loud. First of all, I'm willing to bet that he's not all fucking there. Like he's mentally sick. Like first of all, like this dude would, you know, smash his feet against the ground. Like not even walk regularly. All you hear is just thud, 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 and then followed by creaking because the building is old. So this dude was just straight torturing me. Then he was super loud, meaning that like he would have phone conversations that you can hear clearly through the walls. Like it doesn't help that it's an old building with thin walls and creaky floors, but there's a vent near the kitchen, which is near the living room where I'm at most of the time, and I can hear his conversation carry right through the vent. But even if that vent wasn't there, I'll still be able to hear him clear as day. And he would lose his mind. He would get mad often and slam stuff on the ground out of anger, not like gently. Like I'm talking about to the point where the plaster on my ceiling was falling on my couch. That's how loud this man would slam things. And he would do this occasionally, frequently. So, you know, I believe it or not, I did nothing about it for a few solid weeks. For a few solid weeks. And not to mention, it's like 2 a.m. and he's got his TV full blast. Not like I can hear the movie clear as day at like 2 in the morning. What I think he might have been watching Fast and the Furious. I'm not sure. I heard a lot of gunshots and a lot of car revving sounds. That's just what I associated Fast and the Furious with. So he's up there just living his life. Like this man was living like he was the only person in the building, right? And after a few weeks of this, I got tired of it naturally, like anyone would, right? So one day he's blasting his music and the fucking the bass from his music was like rumbling my walls. So I grabbed the broom and I hit the ceiling, right? I was mad. Might have may or may not called them a fucking animal. May or may not. And he responds by turning the music up louder and stomping his feet on the ground, right? So this is right then and there. I knew like this is a petty guy, which not surprising at all, right? But I can't outmatch his pettiness. I don't have that type of energy to fight this man every day. And this is another thing I forgot to mention, and it's important. This motherfucker does not go anywhere. Like he is in that apartment 24/7. I think I heard him mention something about him getting a check, hence he doesn't have a job. Right? I don't. It would make sense if he's on some sort of disability check because this motherfucker is nuts, man. He's fucking classically fucking crazy. So he's there 24/7. So on my off days, right? Just recently, maybe a few weeks ago, I had 5 straight days off from work, right? I called out the weekend. This motherfucker was there all 5 days, just torturing me, right? Because ever since I hit the ceiling, he knows, you know, that I'm it. He knows that I'm living there, and it upsets him when he makes noise. So now he's making even more noise on purpose, right? So I cave in and I become a Karen. Not something I'm proud of, but what else? What other choice do I have? Go up there and confront him, possibly get in a fight, and it's that's not going to be the end of it, right? First of all, he's this skinny gay dude with like tattoos on his face or whatever, and he's scrawny dude, and I know I could put a serious hurting on this kid, but what would that do besides make me feel really good at the moment? What would that do in the long term? He knows where I live at. That's not going to be the end of it. He'll probably get a cousin or a brother to come kick my door down with a gun or something, right? Now I'm fucked because they know where I live at. He knows I live on the second floor. And considering his energy, his aura, I'm like, this motherfucker's toxic. He will take it there. I got a feeling he will. So confronting this man is off the table, right? So what do I do? Fight him with management. That's my only. I got to carrying him out of that apartment. So I sent a message, an email to my management. I'm like, hey man, I can't. I don't know what's up with this guy. I don't know if he has behavior issues or drug issues. Drug issues will also make sense. That make perfect sense because he's fucking psycho. So I don't hear nothing, right, for like a solid week. And that whole solid week, I don't hear nothing. He's up there just torturing. At times, he would just stomp on the floor just to fuck with me. I'm positive of that. Like not because he dropped something, or sometimes he would just be dancing. You can hear the floors squeaking, the ceiling. Well, his floor is my ceiling, so I can hear it squeaking. And I'm like, this motherfucker, like, is he doing this to fuck with me? I don't know. But when he just randomly out of nowhere starts stomping, that's when I know I'm like, oh, he knows that that's what pisses me off, and he's doing that on purpose, right? So a good week goes by here, nothing from management, right? I'd send him another message again. I say, hey, this is my second time, just letting you know, like I can't. I got 8 months left on my lease, right? I can't do this every day. Like you guys got to do something about this man. Like I've got pictures of the plaster on my ceiling. I've got videos of him losing his mind. They're still on my phone to this day, right? him losing his mind, just cursing at the top of his lungs. And then when he gets mad, he starts hitting shit. Like I said, he starts slam. I don't know what he grabs, but he grabs something and he hits it against the floor. And I'm, I'm living. I felt like I got PTSD, dude. Like the entire couple of weeks that I was living with this man, he just every loud thud made me like almost I felt like a bitch, but at the same time, it was like, is he gonna start freaking out now? Like, cause I'll just be playing my game. I can hear him through. I can have my headphones on, playing my video game at a decent volume. Sometimes at like 50, and I can still hear this motherfucker up there thumping and his music. So finally, management reaches out to me, and all they write is, "What apartment number is he?" And I write back like, "I don't know. I'm apartment 6. He's on top of me." I found out later on he's apartment 10. So I'm apartment 6. I'm like, he's directly on top of me. So I sounded weird. He lives directly above me. So then I don't hear nothing. I call the lady a few days later because he hasn't calmed down. Like I said, he's there 24/7. He doesn't work. He doesn't even go outside, dude. I never bumped into him. I think I bumped into his boyfriend. He also lives with his boyfriend because I hear two voices up there all the time. And my girl bumped into him in the hallway one day. He just came from washing clothes. I think the laundry room is in the basement in my building. So she bumped into him. I never bumped into him. And that's because, like I said, he's up there 24/7. I don't even know how he gets food. I don't know how he doesn't stretch his legs, go outside. He must be losing his mind up there, like a mentally sick man in a small, confined area. Like, no wonder he's letting everybody have it, right? Because he's fucking losing his mind. So, um, I call the lady after a few more days, doesn't answer, right? I leave a voicemail. I'm like, man, these people, this management has been super unhelpful, man. Like no communication, even to this day, no email saying like, hey, we handled it, we spoke to him, blah blah blah. So I remember it was like 6 a.m., 6:15, something along those lines, and this motherfucker starts blasting his music, blasting, and then starts stomping on the ground. Listen to me, not because he's walking around, not because he dropped something, not because he's packing. He just started jumping on the ground at 6 in the morning to intentionally fuck with us, right? So it was weird because that's the first time, mind you, this entire time I thought like, okay, I'm in this fight alone. No, I don't hear no other neighbor complain about it, at least to my knowledge, right? Maybe they have because I work second shift, and I'm gone most of the day when I'm working. So, and I'm usually working, most of the week. So it's like maybe something happened. Maybe somebody did call the cops while I was away. I don't know. But I just know that I heard a neighbor knock on his door, and I stopped everything that I was doing. I was like, thank God, finally somebody's gonna punch him in the face, or someone's just gonna tell him to shut the fuck up. But what he did, right? He never opened up the door. He turned his music down. Then I heard his stupid little feet run from the living room to the bedroom. I know that because his bedroom is under my bedroom. Yay! And he ran into his bedroom, and then he was quiet for hours. I think he was scared that they were gonna fuck him up. That made me so happy. I went to work with a smile. I was like, I just want some revenge. I want some sort of justice for what this motherfucker's doing. He's just torturing all of us for no reason. I thought that may have taught him a lesson. I'm not fucking naive. Hold on, I'm choking on my gum. Probably shouldn't have a fucking podcast with gum in my mouth. I'm not naive. I knew that that was probably enough to kind of shut him up for a bit, but I don't think it was going to shut him up 100%. So sure enough, the next day, 5:41 in the morning, I awaken by music and it's them again. This time he's jumping even louder because I think he didn't like the fact that that neighbor bitched him out. This is my theory. I don't know for sure. But I think that he didn't like the fact that neighbor bitched him out, so he came back the next morning with a vengeance. Right? Again, this time nobody knocked on his door. And I'm just sitting there like, oh my God, dude, how long I gotta deal with this motherfucker? You know, it was stressful, man, and I hate to use that word because I feel like that word nowadays is used very loosely. You know, some people will go like, "I went to the grocery store and the amount of things to buy was stressful," and I'm just like, "That's not real stress, bro. That's not. Don't use that word. Don't use that word." But whatever, man. All I'm saying is, this dude has been torturing me for so long that at this point, I'm talking to my girl and I tell her, "Look, you got to get an apartment." Now, mind you, we originally were supposed to move in this year, but something happened in my last apartment where I literally got this apartment, the one from hell. I got this one last minute. Literally, like it was like 3 days left on my lease or something like that. It was I was really pushing it, and I was like, I gotta settle for something, and I settled for that apartment. I didn't pick it because I liked it and it had a scenic view. I picked it because it was what was available, and that was one of the only places to actually call me back. Because god damn, if anyone's renting nowadays, especially in the PA area, getting a call back, it's a fucking pain. So yeah, looking for a place is the job itself. So I find this place and it's tiny. It's a tiny place. It looks like it used to be a studio and they just put a wall in there and called it a one bedroom just so they can raise the rent, right? I really genuinely believe that. It's tiny. So I said we can't live here together, man. Your stuff, my stuff. I was like, the girl would come over and we both play PC. She would use a mouse. She would use a Vans shoebox as a mouse. She didn't even have a proper mouse. She just sat there with the keyboard in her lap, right? And a Van shoebox as a mouse pad and my TV as a monitor, right? And she dealt with that for months. She was totally cool with that, which, bless her. That's not the case anymore. The place that we're living in now, we actually got a computer. We went to IKEA. I can't see you with the shoebox no more, man. You got to do something about that. Like I went to IKEA with her and I got her a nice desk, a nice chair. She's all set up now. It looks pretty nice. You should see the little setup we got at the new place. So we were planning to move already. So I said, okay, well, look, we're gonna just expedite. Is that the word? We're just gonna hasten the process, right? I know that she was saving money for next year because we was like, we'll move in next year. Then we'll delay it for one more year. But it turns out that I was like, okay, look, I got enough money in the bank to help you. I can help you get started up. She had some money also in the bank. So I said, let's just put a pool of money together, get the fuck out of this apartment, live together finally, and then I can figure out what I'm going to do with this lease. Maybe break it, maybe. So here's the crazy part. This is how life is, right? Now, mind, here's a little weird fact, too. If you're a believer in God, right, or not, you still got to acknowledge that this is weird, right? I remember when I was laying in bed and this man was torturing everybody. And I was just thinking, like, I prayed. I remember one of the things I said in my prayer was like, I was like, God, please, you got to help me with this guy. Like, something along those lines. And I know this is going to sound like some cheesy, like, what is that, Home Network movie? Like one of those cheesy soap operas, but I swear, like, seconds after I said that, he calmed down. Coincidence? Probably. Probably. But if you're someone who is a believer, come on, man. What is the timing on that, right? Like, I either had like crazy timing or maybe something did happen. Whatever, man. This isn't one of those videos. This isn't like, what do you think? Like, whatever. I just thought that was an interesting tidbit. So I'm sitting there and I'm just talking to her, and we finally call people. We make the move. We decide that's the right move. We find a place, nice place, much better place, like fucking 2 blocks away. No bullshit. Can you believe that? In my area, she pointed it out yesterday. I was like, where I live at in the PA area, I was like, we literally did like a circle. We started off in this area, went all the way down, and then came right back to the same area I started in a matter of like 4 years. So I was like, that's pretty cool. That's pretty interesting. Now that you mention it, that is true. So we find a place almost immediately. We move in. We, first month, last month, all that good shit that just keeps increasing. And price is nuts. It's nuts. So here's the crazy part, right? So we're in the process. We're gonna get it. We got the money. I wake up on Saturday. I work that weekend. I hear him upstairs, right? The asshole. He's making noise, but he's not making noise to intentionally annoy anyone. It almost sounded like he was cleaning or maybe packing or moving. I'm not sure. So I was like, okay, it sounds like he's just moving stuff around. I was like, okay, I don't know. Maybe he's making room for new stuff. Maybe he's gonna throw stuff out. Maybe I don't know. I was like, I hope this motherfucker moves out. I hope that was Saturday morning-ish, after late morning, early afternoonish. I leave to go to work. I come back that night. It's Saturday night, right? Quiet, quiet, definitely quiet. I'm like, oh no, he's gonna fucking come out of nowhere and start Mario stomping the ground and then playing fucking what was it? What did he play? He played the war. Good God. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. He would play that. He would play. Let me give you some of his selection. He would play that. He would play the peaches and cream. He would play that. He would play what's the fucking other song? He would play the Bone Thugs and Harmony and Biggie. It's Bone and Biggie, baby. Let's ride, let's ride, let's ride, let's ride. Get high. That was my shit. It used to be my shit till he started playing it. Now I hate it. So what else did he play? He played I think it was Cardi B. Ugh. So anyways, quiet, no footsteps. And I'm sitting there like, yo, you hear this to my girl? And she's like, no, I don't hear nothing. And I was like, that's weird. So we play the game, whatever, and then shortly, by the time we finish playing the game, it's like 2 a.m. I was like, this motherfucker's just getting started. He's gonna go fucking watch Fast and the Furious for the 30th time and torture me in the process. Nothing. Quiet. I said, yo, I don't think he's here. And I told her, I said, look, I heard him moving shit around before I left to work. I was like, maybe he left somewhere. I was like, okay. Well. So surely he'll be back Sunday to torture us. Sunday morning, wake up, hear nothing. Awesome. I go to work. We circle the block just so we can look at his window. Actually, she circled the block to find better parking, but I took the opportunity to look at his window. Dark. All lights are off. And I was like, I don't think he's there. And then, of course, that Sunday night, quiet. No one's there. Till this day, right now, what are we in? We're in Wednesday. I have not seen him. He has not been into the apartment yet, that I know of, at least. It's been super quiet. And guess what? We already moved out. So I ended up getting this whole new apartment with her, right? Just days before he moved out. Or that would be fucked up, right? I did this giant, and I had to spend a good chunk of money to get this new place, along with her, of course. But like, can you imagine that you went through this whole step of just fucking finding an entire different apartment, and then because of a problem, and then the problem leaves? Still, still, I'm trying to think positively. I'm like, maybe the dude went on a trip. It's been what, Saturday? I haven't heard anything from Saturday night. So Saturday night, Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night. We're in Wednesday. So it's been 3 nights that I have not heard him. That's still pretty early for like an average trip. So I was like, okay, maybe he went on a good week-long trip or a cruise or something, and he'll be back to torture us soon. I wouldn't know because I'm already out of that motherfucker. So that's what I've been going through these past couple of weeks. There's no way I could have recorded a video because this dude would have just it would we would have just heard him losing his shit, over the microphone. Which you think I'm joking, but that's really the truth. I was playing Tarkov with my girl, and she heard him lose his shit. She was like, "What is all that stomping?" I was like, "This fucking asshole." That's so crazy. And my mic has like I got a pretty damn good mic, man. I got like a Steel Series think it's like an Arctis Pro. It's a little older, but it's still great, and it has the best fucking mic ever. I love this mic. This is a good reason why I don't want to buy a new headset because I like this headset, but it's big, it's heavy, and it makes my ears hurt after a while though. But I guess that's probably maybe every headset, like you kind of got to take them out every 15, 30 minutes or something and just let your fucking ears dry and also, kind of rest them. So I would like to think that he left. That makes me feel good. Maybe he got evicted, Maybe because there's no way that dude. And I told my girl this. I said, hey, if I was a betting man, I would bet that there's no way that man's gonna last his entire lease. That type of energy, I was like, he's gonna fuck up on rent, or he's gonna like piss someone off to the point where someone's gonna hurt him, or they're gonna call the cops on him repeatedly. Maybe he'll get arrested. But I don't think he's going to last no 12 months. That guy belongs in like fucking Section 8 or something. Like he belongs in an area, like he belongs where there's other people like him. I'm sure there's some nice Section 8 people out there, but the ones that I've met were just can't don't fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll literally hurt you. I was like, he's got that energy, that projects energy. Like you go take that over there, brother. And this is coming from somebody who lived in the fucking hood. Like I lived in North Philly, Fifth and Allegheny area. Anybody would tell you how a bunch of crazy Puerto Ricans and it's wild, man. So I can tell you straight up that type of energy, that's where it belongs. It belongs in the hood. You got hood energy. You got a hood aura to you. Go with your kin, live with them, and do hood rat things with them. So, good thing is that it's over, and this is the first video that I've recorded this month. I plan to at least do four. I always say I plan to do something, and then turns out that's not the case. But now I can start recording at a better pace, a better schedule, because I don't have to worry about Psycho Boy. And that makes me feel good. This place is mad spacious, nice hardwood floor. It's quiet. I'm digging it. I like it. And now I still don't know what to do with my other apartment because I'm paying rent over there also. Uh, Luckily, my girl decided. Well, we decided to have her take care of things for a couple months until I figured the situation out with the current apartment that I still have. I'm still under lease from them. Like I gotta find a way to see if I can break it or break the lease or some sort of other option. This is the first time I've ever done this. I'm a little. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little worried because I have a perfect record renting. I don't have any. I have never broken any lease. I've never got evicted. I've never skipped on rent, and I've been renting for like 17 years, man. I've been renting for a very long time, and I've had a perfect record. And I was like, I don't want to fuck it up because I don't plan to own a home anytime soon unless I stumble upon a few $1 million because I feel like that's the only time I would buy a house. Like you would have to like force my hand to buy a house. There's lots of reasons why. That's a whole entire episode in its own right. But I would say that like I'm gonna be renting for the foreseeable future. But yeah, I mean, the nightmare's over. It was 3 weeks of craziness, 3 weeks of stress, 3 weeks of uncertainty, and it seems like, well, it is over. It ain't. It doesn't seem. Uh, it's over for me. I don't know if it's over for my neighbors. I don't know if it. I don't know if that guy's coming back. Maybe he really did leave, and if he did, I hope that guy fucking. I hope he breaks his toe. Right. I hope he breaks his toe, wherever he's at. Everything's good. Sorry, this wasn't about an exact video game, but I feel better. I feel more at ease. I just finished washing clothes. Uh, I'm basically playing house husband right now. She's at work. I'm off today. I just running some errands. About to figure out what I'm gonna eat because I'm poor. So probably just eat rice and chicken, which I prefer actually. I'm very simple when it comes to meals. I don't, I'm not crazy about elaborate meals. I don't do Uber Eats or anything like that. I'm not a fast food guy, so I don't do Uber Eats because I'm not rich. I don't feel like paying the delivery guy and fucking fees. I don't feel like that's you'll literally pay as much as you would pay for the food and fees, and it's like it's ridiculous, man. It really is. Right now I got some things that I'm playing in the In the meantime, I'm playing Stalker Clear Sky right now. I just started it a couple weeks ago before this whole, well, not before, while this crazy shit was happening. I was trying to play video games, but I couldn't even do that, to be honest with you. Even in Tarkov, like I insured some guns and then I didn't play for days because I just didn't have the drive because this guy was just torturing her. But I just wanted to get out of that apartment so bad. And I fucking ended up losing. I insured some items in Tarkov and ended up losing them because I didn't claim them in time. It's like, fuck, man, I like that handgun. Anyways, thanks for listening to me rant. I'm sorry this has nothing to do with video games, but it does have a lot to do with life. And I guess I got half of it right. Um, See you guys next time, much sooner than later. I promise that I will. I would say maybe sometime next week or so. But I do plan, I really, really am going to push to at least do 4 videos this month. Stop bullshitting. Um, See you guys next time. Thanks for listening to me, bitch, all day long. Thanks.